There are usually only two good reasons to upgrade an application: to take advantage of important new features or to get fixes for important old ones. But for security software, there are two more critical reasons to stay current. First, security software updates include buried countermeasures to foil the latest attack vectors. For AVS software, that's updated malware detection. For static analysis tools, it's better detection of exploitable coding patterns. And for obfuscation, hardening, and RASP vendors like Preemptive, that means refactoring of obfuscation transforms like renaming and control flow to break the latest reverse engineering tools, or more sophisticated rooted device debugger or tamper detection algorithms to stop hackers. Bottom line is that simply to remain relevant, security software has to continuously evolve and respond to outside forces whose sole mission is to undermine and dilute their effectiveness. The second reason to stay current, whether you're processing health records, private user data, or payments, is that end users, regulators, law enforcement, and investors all expect you to take every reasonable and necessary step to secure your software and their data. Failure to meet this minimum standard of care leads straight to fines, civil penalties, market ruin, and occasionally even criminal prosecution. But what's a minimum standard of care? GDPR talks about appropriate technical safeguards and security by design and by default. The PCI Council's far more prescriptive, and they explicitly call for data encryption, obfuscation, and root detection capabilities. Now, these standards do vary, but we can name at least one universal requirement that everyone can agree on. It's simply fundamental. Whether you're tracking HIPAA, GDPR, COPPA, NIST, or Defend Trade Secrets Act, that principle is do not let your critical software, and especially your security software, fall out of date or out of general support. Bad guys know the gaps that get plugged with every update, and they exploit those gaps every time they find an app or an enterprise that has fallen behind. Auditors, consumers, capital markets have no tolerance for companies that cannot be bothered to keep their systems up to date. If you're a Dotfuscator client, you've seen us push out an average of 4 releases per year. We certainly maintain the fastest cadence of anyone in our space, and with each release, we hit all 4 essential security software metrics: new features and quality improvements like any serious solution does, plus timely countermeasures, as well as audit and compliance enhancements. For example, if you're running Dotfuscator 4.21 today, well, you're missing out on features like native debugger detection and response to better protect both your code and your data from hackers. You're also missing support for the latest .NET Core, .NET Standard, and Unity frameworks, as well as significantly improved build time performance. But here's one more important takeaway. In virtually every release of Dotfuscator, we refactor our obfuscation transforms like renaming, control flow, and string encryption so that the very same settings you're using today will actually generate different, harder to crack applications with each new release. You don't have to change a single setting in your configuration file, and you certainly don't need to write a line of code to gain immediate app hardening improvements. You gain these benefits simply by staying current on our Dotfuscator release. If you have maintained your company's software support and maintenance, well, you've already paid for this essential benefit, and it takes just a few minutes to upgrade, and our support is there to answer any questions that you might have. If, on the other hand, you've let your software maintenance expire, well, that may well be a serious problem. My strong advice to you is either renew your license with us or, if need be, move to another application hardening solution. But no matter what the strategy you ultimately settle on, be sure not to make the mistake of letting good security software age out, leaving your code, your data, your users, your company, leaving you seriously exposed and candidly in jeopardy. Do anything but that.